I Saw the TV Glow is a movie IRL. Okay. I Saw the TV Glow is a movie that I watched recently with my wife, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. It came out in May of this year, May 2024. Director Jane Schoenbrunn, distributed by A24. Box office, it got 5.3 million. Cinematography, Eric Ku. Edited by Sophie Marshall. Wow, they got a lot of information for this. Then I'm going to bring up the Wikipedia, so I have the plot notes to double check and look at. Ostensibly, yeah, what the movie is about: a pair of kids that meet right around the start of high school for the main character Owen, and they bond over the existence of this show called The Pink Opaque, which is like a Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Ghost Rider. If you guys remember Ghost Rider, Buffy the Vampire Slayer type monster of the week fighting evil show. The show itself is about two girls. Does it say their fucking names? Yeah, Isabel and Tara, who live on opposite sides of town and are like lightly estranged after a chance meeting at summer camp, and then they get together and they've got little fucking marks on the back of their necks that look like ghosts. And they use their psychic powers to communicate and fight like whatever monster of the week things. The one that comes up in this is like a giant ice cream cone monster that's the fucking, I don't know, the ice cream man thing, and it wants to give it's whatever. Dumb, conceited 1990s style plots. All right. As you get into it, the twist, spoilers, if you want me to talk about something and you think it's not gonna get spoiled, can you fucking grow the fuck up? Don't listen to people talk about media online and expect there to be no spoilers. The twist is, after some part, you find out that maybe the main character, Owen, and the other female lead, Maddie, have more of a deeper connection to the show than they might imagine. Maybe Maddie, who is traumatized and lives in this horrible abusive relationship with her father, maybe she and Owen were actually the girls from it. Owen is a boy in IRL, but Isabel is a girl. But at certain points, you see him like wearing this dress. It's this whole like conceited thing. And towards the last half of it, Maddie, after disappearing for years, comes back and finds Owen living this like deprived life. He's just a random fucking scrub existence of a person in the 2000s, driftless, aimless teenager working at like a bowling alley or no, a movie theater, and then at like a Chuck E. Cheese style fucking kids play place area. I don't know. There's these other creatures. There's a moon monster guy, right? Mr. Melancholy, which is a direct reference to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins, that album from the 90s, which is good. It's the one with Tonight, that song on it, which comes up in this movie, and it's a terrible rendition compared to the original. Just don't try to do smash. I fucking hate white girl fucking remakes of songs from the grunge period. I don't know what it is, but it's got a ukulele grade cover, and I fucking hate it, dude. I fucking hate it. Either way, that's basically the overall conceit of it. Owen's a loser. Always has been, kind of a solitary, shut-in type person. Maddie's the only person that he can talk to about or really watch the Pink Opaque with. And then once she runs away from home and disappears, he lives a driftless life. Then she comes back into his life, tries to convince him that the show is actually real and they're the main characters from the show. And she found that out by burying herself alive, and he needs to bury himself alive too, so that he can wake up and relive the last episode of the show and continue it into the next season, sort of thing. So like a murder-suicide pact type deal. That sounds very interesting. This movie is good in the first half and falls the fuck apart in the last 20 minutes. It really just does. It really just does. There's a huge following for it on trans Twitter. I'm not surprised. There is a trans narrative, sort of, that kind of has gone into this, but the trans community will read a fucking trans narrative into goddamn anything. They're so starved for media. And in my opinion, it really doesn't try to go after it that well. It just doesn't do a great job of explaining all of the things that come up. So basically the way that the movie is presented, it's over the course of like basically you're time traveling the entire time. You start with Owen as a kid. And then I'm not going to do a play-by-play of the entire movie, but you start with Owen as a kid. Owen grows up basically like year by year beside Maddie, and then Maddie runs away when she's like about to graduate or has just graduated high school or something like that, maybe towards the end of it. And then it's kind of like, you know, just different, like 3 or 4 years pass, 5 years pass, 6 years pass kind of thing. And Owen just steadily gets older while living a lie is kind of the whole deal. He lives a really shitty life. He has a fucking family, the whole shebang, sort of, but that's never really gone into. And it's kind of implied that Owen prefers hiding in this fake life to some degree than trying to take the risk and pursue the real life that he should live. It sounds good, but I'm just telling you, the execution in the last half is fucking miserable. It gets really slow, and the movie's extremely self-indulgent with a lot of these music scenes that are okay at best, but really just stretched out a lot. There'll be like somebody singing, like there's at least two, I think might be in the same scene where they go to this bar and there's someone singing and it's just like you have to listen to the whole fucking song and it really kind of just takes away from the movie. Maybe there's some Venice Film Festival round of applause grade secret squirrel shit that I missed, but I was watching this movie with my wife and it's like it kind of just sacrifices the most interesting bits about trying to actually get into your body and do all that stuff with this sort of like surrender narrative that maybe gets fixed, but I don't know. The ending of the movie is very unappealing. I won't get into it 100%. You can go watch it yourself. But just understand, it's crushingly fucking unappealing. The characters are not well done. The casting is kind of rough. And I don't know if it's the casting or the direction necessarily. I've never seen these actors in anything else prominent. But the person that plays Owen especially, it might be a conceit that they're supposed to be buried alive. So Owen has this really weird way of talking. But it is like a person that they cast to be both like 55 by the end of the show, like, or 45 or something, into their middle age. They're middle-aged by the end of this movie, and also playing someone that is basically like a junior in high school at the beginning of it, and then many ages between, and really just does not have the like chops or look for it. And because they're supposed to be buried alive, I guess they talk like this like the entire time, like they're suffocating kind of thing, but like Maddie doesn't. And there's just a lot of like plot issues sort of with it throughout, where you can kind of tell like they wanted to do certain things and make certain moves during the show. You know, they're like, okay, I want this scene, I want that, I kind of want to make this point, but a lot of it's really never delivered on. And a lot of the interesting stuff, which is the Mr. Melancholy, which is this like CGI enhanced, creepy as fuck, like fucking practical effect puppet head thing that gives this whole speech about like, you're gonna feel like you're dying the whole time. It's like, that's fucking cool. And there's a lot of promising moments in I Saw the TV Glow, but ultimately it very, very much for me falls short. Now, if you like it, I'm not going to take it away from you. You should like it, but I will say that if you didn't enjoy it, your feelings are absolutely justified. On a technical level, particularly when it comes to narrative and direction, it's a little bloated at times. It's a little stretched out at times. The writing isn't very good. It's not terrible, but it's pretty fucking mid overall, and maybe just a little pandery. But that's fine. That's fine. And, you know, if you find some sort of comfort and it's a comfort watch for you, go for it. Maybe that's supposed to be one of those, no, I made it bad on purpose because it's a meta narrative about how those fucking 90s shows sucked. And then you talk to the 90s show writer and he's like, I didn't write that bad on purpose. What are you talking about? I'm just a WGA screenwriter. But ultimately, yeah, I would say it's mid. I would say it's extremely mid and pretty disappointing at the end. Is it worth a watch? Maybe if you're interested, or if you have like a trans friend that won't shut the fuck up and wants to make you watch it, go for it. But if you could pick something else to watch on a Friday night, I would probably go in a different direction. Despite how promising it feels, it's kind of a massive letdown by the end. And that's I saw the TV glow. I really wanted to get out there, so I'm gonna do a few more media review type things. But that's I see them. I saw the TV glow yet again, directed by Jane Schoenbrunn, and released in May of this year. Oh god, the fucking the person that made it is actually my age, Jane Schoenbrunn, from '97, and they're just the most New York built person I've ever seen. Their entire fucking thing is just like, oh god, just maximized fucking Brooklyn Film Festival. It's a great fucking content. Worked for the Safdie brothers. Jesus Christ. She made a Slender Man. The person that made this made a Slender Man movie. Oh my god. Truly my age. Marble Hornets. I've gotten 20 minutes in and immediately turned it off. Shit was boring. Yeah. Schoenbrunn is trans, Tyler? Okay, I don't care. That means next to nothing to me. That doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the narrative. It's a slow burn. It's like I'm thinking of anything's brilliant, but not for everyone. It's definitely not brilliant. It's an extremely flawed and incompetently at times made movie. It really just isn't brilliant. That's Cope. If you like it, you like it, but don't go around saying it's a brilliant film. It really is just unimpressive from start to finish. You got to start watching more movies. If you were like awed by I Saw the TV Glow, you need to watch like 6 Criterion fucking films. That's a fucking lie too. But you've got to broaden your fucking cinematic horizons. Brilliant is not it. I would say it's maybe like a made for TV grade film for like a sci-fi channel thing. It looks like a student project, really, with a lot of extra money dumped into it, is what I would give it. An above average student project is what that fucking film is. Brilliant's not. I can't even permit you to say that on my stream unchallenged. I've only seen the Matrix trilogy, so batting one out of 3 for trans directors. I'm missing the hitting meaning. That shit doesn't get past me. You got to understand. Like, I this is the shit I studied like crazy in school. Trust me, you can't get it past me. I'm fucking not the one. My literary analysis is like unironically like top tier. It's one of the few things that I'm massively fucking good at because I love fiction. It's not even like a flex. It's like I'm literally describing what one of my main talents in life is. That's why I'm good at writing. When I tell you something's flawed and busted, you can enjoy it if you want to enjoy it, but it's flawed. Don't try to replicate what it did because you'll make shit. If you make a copy of it and you learn the wrong lessons from it, you'll make something that's even fucking worse. That was the point. We remember these shows from our childhood differently than how they really were, but you've already said you're not interested in discussing it, so why bother? I'm discussing it. I just don't think that you have a very good grasp of movies and how they're made and narrative construction and plot conceits. I think you're just in love with something and coping. But it's fine. Just say you like it, but it's bad. It's mid, really. And it makes a lot of fucking massive mistakes. That's it. Watch it again, see if it's poisoned. But this is an idea from the internet that I despise. This is an addendum to this discussion because this goes into the fucking fear and hunger thing. I have no respect for people that love something so much they demand people say like, "Oh, we can agree to disagree." No, if something's bad, it's bad. If something's good, it's good, right? It's quality, execution, skill, talent, okay? That's it. This like no, and this is the internet thing that drives me fucking nuts. No, it's bad on purpose is stupid as fuck. It's the worst fucking criticism or the worst counter criticism that can fucking exist. It's like saying like I fucking put shit in my pizza so that people understand that not all pizza can be good. And it's like, but like I did it on purpose. Like I purposely fucked up, you know, does not mean that you didn't fuck up. You just made bad. You just made bad things. It's really literally the equivalent of like Tony Hinchcliffe trying to say, I'm a comedian. When I said the joke that was unfucking funny, you have to give me forgiveness because normally it works. You know what I mean? And just because you didn't appreciate it doesn't mean that it wasn't good. No, there is no, the subjectivity in art is not something that you deserve to say. If you can't give me an objective critique of how something was made and actually literally break down the decisions that were done during it, how they worked, how they didn't work, if you can't talk any deeper than that. But the fucking like, oh no, it's bad on purpose and so it deserves a pass is just one of the most absurd fucking criticisms or counter criticisms I've ever heard. I hate it. I have no respect for it. And the funniest part about it is that I think even the people that deliver it know it's bad because they fucking freak out and piss their pants. It's the most pants pissing thing to have catch it and throw it right back in their fucking face. They lose their shit. If you go and look at the Fear and Hunger, me saying Fear and Hunger is a horrible game, it's a horrible game. It's a great Wikipedia article. It's a wonderful Wikipedia article. As a game, it's dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know that alligator game where you press the teeth on the alligator one after another and then it snaps and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fun. That's a fun game. The one where the people make the joke of replacing all the top teeth with like razor blades and it cuts your finger off. That doesn't make the game, when it becomes like a statement on danger or freaked out, that doesn't make it a good game or a better game to play. It's a worse game to play. It cuts your fucking fingers off. But it's a great video to watch. You've changed the medium concept of what's enjoyable about it. Everything that's good about Fear and Hunger is summed up by watch the Worm Girl version or the Worm Girl video on it. That shit slaps. The game itself is broken, it's jank, it's unfucking fun, and saying like, oh, I made it to be unfun and you don't get it. No, I get it. I get it. We're both on the same page. You're just trying to say that it deserves a pass for being an unfun, unplayable piece of shit game. And I'm saying it doesn't, and I'm objectively correct because it doesn't perform what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like if I read a book about a divorce, you know what I mean? And I open the book and the story is great, but the book, because it's about people falling apart at the seams, literally starts falling apart at the seams as I read it and becomes like this meta narrative, so to say, about how hard it is to read a book when the fucking pages are falling out. That's a bad book. The book is literally a bad book. Now, is the story bad? No, the story's fine. And as a matter of fact, I would rather hear it on audiobook if the way that it's delivered in person is the pages fall the fuck out. And then if on top of that, you're like, well, this is the first time someone tried to bind a book together on their own. And so like, also when the next time they did it, the book was better bound and everyone enjoyed reading from it and turning the pages, then that means that even that person knew that it was dog shit and bad because they improved going to the next time. And it's just cope. If you fucking engage with a medium and you can't deliver on the way that the medium is supposed to be delivered, then you probably are a fuck up. You probably fucked up. Like those Game of Thrones episodes where the fucking camera is so fucking dark you can't see anything, it doesn't display. That's not a meta narrative on how dark it was during the fight. That's not fucking paying attention to your histogram. That's it. You're just literally not paying attention to how much fucking light is hitting the fucking film sensor inside the camera, and you filmed too dark. You're a fucking idiot. You were doing all of your editing and all of your fucking monitoring on screens that don't have the same typical features as the screens that people are going to be watching on. You didn't do the car test with a song and make sure that it sounds good on dog shit car stereo speakers and it's still a song. You just fucked up. You're just a fucking, you're a fuck up. Okay. Just get better. But I'm never going to be nice to somebody that tries to say, oh no, the meta narrative of what's going on here is actually like, oh, that it's supposed to be unenjoyable dog shit. And that's like a thing. No, motherfucker, I've seen films that convey the emotions that are being conveyed in this better by 1,000,000 times because they were just made by people that are unfathomably good at storytelling in the fucking medium of film. And they didn't have to fuck it up the entire time to try to say like, oh, no, it's a meta narrative. Fuck off with that. That's a gimmick. If you fucking rely on a gimmick, you're no better than M. Night Shyamalan. I don't give a fuck who the fuck your fans are. You're M. Night Shyamalan. And if you don't get the fucking box office returns that Shyamalan gets, then you're fucking nothing to me. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. You don't have there's no fucking response to that other than, well, actually, I enjoyed it, which I already conceded. If you want to enjoy it, that's fine. Don't go about pretending it's good. Don't go about pretending that's quality filmmaking, because then I'm going to start seeing everybody try to do the fucking metagame shit and make trash upon trash upon trash as they lose the fucking plot on how to make good content and start just metagaming the entire fucking world into just knots upon knots upon knots. I hate that shit. It's just fucking trash. Start with a good story, execute it effectively, and that's it. That's it. That's fucking making shit. Okay? All the nuance that goes into it. This meta narrative to explain away the fucking issues, that's PR. That's all it is. That's all it fucking is.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.